White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs fanned the controversial flame in trying to answer the question.
Actually bowed to King Abdullah. Did he bow or didn't he?
No, I think he bent over with both with both hands to shake his hand. So I don't.
Just show one hand that he was just. Did he bow or didn't he?
No, but I think this meeting was like a week ago, right?
That's right, but this is something that a lot of people are still talking about today.
I can only imagine it is of great cause and concern for many people struggling with the economy.
Well, it's nothing to do with the economy, but people are on Twitter and are on email asking this very question. So what do you think? Did he bow or didn't he? And why is the White House trying to get past the question? Former advisor to President Bill Clinton, a Fox News contributor and a famous author, Dick Morris, joins us. Dick, everyone harkens back to when Bill Clinton, they say, almost bowed to the Emperor of Japan, and that's a problem with America, because our leaders aren't supposed to do that. Was that a bow in your mind, and is it a big deal in your mind?
Well, either he bowed or he got punched in the stomach. Hard to tell. But yeah, sure, it was a bow, but I don't think it's important. But what I do think is important, we have a president that has just allocated $1 billion of foreign aid to the Palestinian Authority, including Hamas. He's sitting down with Iran and negotiating with them while they're building a bomb and trying to stop Israel and criticizing Israel for the possibility of wanting to attack Iran. And he wants Israel to give up new land to the Palestinian Authority so they can put up more rocket launchers. And we're worried about a bow. I'm worried about the fact that this guy's giving away our foreign policy in the Middle East.
Well, some say it's all tied together, Dick, because, for example, if you give $1 million to the Palestinian Authority, even though Mahmoud Abbas, $1 billion, how can you be sure it's not going to get in the hands of Hamas?
You can't. And $300 million of it is earmarked for the United Nations agency in Gaza that is a front for Hamas.
Yeah, which is unbelievable, because they said, well, we guarantee you we'll make sure Hamas doesn't get it, it'll go directly to the people.
Well, the UN agency, I cover this in my new book, Catastrophe, that's coming out in 2 months. The UN agency is totally staffed by Hamas. I mean, Obama has taken American foreign policy in the Middle East and turned it completely on its head. We're talking to Iran, we won't talk to Israel. We don't warn Iran about developing the bomb, we do warn Israel about responding. It is just nuts.
Right, there's something going on there. I do want to expand on that, especially the Iran side, because they've essentially stiff-armed us every time we've put out the overture that we want to talk, especially with their latest actions.
But now they're saying, yeah, talk, right, because that'll delay it while we enrich.
Dick, you're a natural teaser, so we'll wait right there. Coming up next, spin.
Well, it's been totally to stiff arm and delay. And Iran, time is on their side. As they're talking, they're enriching. Let's remember, originally, the Europeans refused to talk to them while they were enriching. Then they stonewalled, and we said, okay, we'll talk to you while you're enriching the uranium. They now claim to have 7,000 centrifuges up and running. And in the meantime, Joe Biden was in South America, and he warned Israel against attacking Iran. Now, look, Netanyahu puts it very plainly. It's 1938, and they're heating up the gas ovens. And Israel has got to act if the United States will not. And it's very clear that the international community is not serious. Now, I think Netanyahu sent two signals to Iran this week. One is he tested an interceptor missile that says we can defend against your counterattack. And the other is he is struck at a Sudanese convoy 500 miles away headed toward Gaza with arms, which said we have a long-distance strike capability. And I think that Israel is getting set to attack. And I think that they need to, they ought to, and Iran is talking to the United States as a way of delaying that until it's too late.
And there's some more action. Hillary Clinton personally sent a letter saying, you have an Iranian-American of dual citizenship reporter there. Let her go. The next day, or 2 days later, they indict her. They have a big announcement about their nuclear program yesterday that we'll sit in talks and try to move our relationships to a new level. So they are laughing at our overtures, correct?
Yeah, and Hillary is straining her credibility. She told North Korea, if you test that missile, there are going to be consequences. And the consequences turn out to be we'll write you an even nastier letter than we did last time.
Name of your book, Bill, Dick Morris, is coming out?
Fleeced. Oh, the new one, Catastrophe, in June. By the way, a point about your Sandy Weil interview that I loved. The top 1% in this country makes 46% of the charitable contributions. And his cutback means soup kitchens and Salvation Army and ministries won't get the aid that they're getting now.
And that's a great point, and that's it's also an article, the subject of an article in the Wall Street Journal today. Dick, thanks for the tease. We're going to have part 2 coming up with Sandy Weil. We really get into what's happened.